Are you a small indie game dev, not sure how to grow? So am I. Let's figure it out together. Hi, my name is Achela and I am the founder of my own indie game studio called ironbloodgamessl. One of the biggest challenges that I've been having as a small indie game developer has been getting noticed, right? Especially as we're starting out. Why is it so hard to get noticed? Well, as of 2025, it might be the hardest it has ever been to stand out in the games industry because it's also the easiest it has ever been to become a game developer. Tools like Unity, Unreal Engine, Godot, and other game engines have been more accessible than ever before. With tutorials, asset stores, and online communities, anyone with just a spark of curiosity can dive into game development, which is great news. But it also means that we're all competing with thousands of voices, all trying to shout out loud enough to be heard. The truth is, most of us aren't struggling because we're bad or our game ideas are weak. It's because we're being drowned out in a sea of other voices. So, how do we rise up above this noise? Well, after like hours of research and watching videos, listening to other game developers who've made it work, I've noticed three strategies that keep showing up over and over again. And we're going to be talking about those three strategies and how we can basically implement that to help ourselves stand out from the crowd. What are the three strategies? Well, they are clear vision, brand yourself, and be consistent. I'll expand upon it right now. All right. Point number one, clear vision. This is your foundation. Clear vision means knowing exactly what kind of games you want to make. Are they emotional and story rich? Are they silly and chaotic, retro inspired, systems driven? The clearer your vision, the easier it becomes for players and other individuals who are looking from outside in understand what you're about. And it also makes it really easy for you to make decisions because your vision becomes your compass, right? It guides you on exactly what you're going to do. So really have a conversation with yourself and try to figure out what it is you're trying to make and nail that down. It's not about just the individual games, but also about like using that vision to define your studio identity. So like ask yourself, what do I want to make players feel when they play my games? What themes and styles do I keep coming back to? And what sets me apart? That will help you pretty much set yourself up to just go ahead and get started. Once you've figured out what you stand for, it's time to present it to the world, the scary part, all right? So that comes with branding yourself. Branding is not just about creating a cool logo, although it's important. It's about creating like a consistent tone, visual style, and message. This ties all your work together and it helps you stand out. So set up your social media accounts, your itch, your Steam pages, your YouTube or devlog series with a visual identity that reflects that vision that you decided on previously. Don't try to appeal to everyone. Speak directly to the people who would love what you're making, like according to that vision, that theme, right? Really just focus yourself to creating the content and your game to those people who would enjoy that particular kind of experience that you're trying to give. So let's take an example of what I'm doing with Ironblood Games. At Ironblood Games, the brand I'm building is built around like action games and experimental gameplay. So our current project, Warfleet Captains, is a mobile space fleet action game inspired by like epic sci-fi movies such as Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica. Our entire focus is trying to put you in the captain's shoes and give you epic space fleet battles. So the tone is punchy and, you know, unashamedly like dramatic, and our branding reflects that, right? The kind of like trailers that we make, the devlogs that we are making are all themed around finally letting people understand this game is all about letting me take part in fleet combat gameplay scenarios, and it's on mobile, right? And we consistently remind people of that in all of the kind of content that we make on social media as well. And that kind of like naturally comes down to the third and most important aspect of all that we are doing, which is being consistent. This is where most of us trip up, because it can be really disheartening for us to just not suddenly be appreciated by everyone in the internet for what we are making. I'm sorry guys and girls, but it's not going to be that easy, all right? So you don't need to post like every day, or you don't need to go viral, but just understand that you need to show up regularly. So what I mean by this is like you can have like a weekly devlog, or a behind the scenes shorts, some Twitter updates, community polls. Pick a rhythm that you can maintain and then just stick to it. Consistency builds trust, and it tells your growing audience that you're serious, right? That you're passionate about what you're making, and that passion kind of starts to break through all the other noise if you can stick to it consistently. It keeps your project in people's minds if you are showing up every week, right, on the social media pages. It gives you dozens of opportunities to also like learn like what kind of content is working for what it is that you're making and what doesn't. It's a very slow and grinding process, but you need to put some real effort into this aspect, and that's what I'm doing, right? You can see my subscribers are not even 100 right now, but I keep putting out the videos because I love what it is that I'm making, and I just hope eventually it gets in front of other people who'd love to experience this kind of game that I'm making for folks, right? I believe they're out there. It's just a case of sticking to my chops and building content in a regular fashion. Let's wrap it all up, right? So my final thoughts: you don't need a massive budget or a huge team to build visibility. What you fundamentally need is a game idea that feels true to you, an identity for your studio, and a willingness to share your journey. And wrapping all of this up, you need to have the patience to keep showing up even when no one seems to be watching. If you're starting from zero, just remember this, right? You're not alone. Most of us are figuring it out as we go. So let's help each other grow. You know what? Write down in the comments about what game projects you might be working on. Let me know. I'll come over, subscribe, and follow you in your social media, right? I'd love to get to know everyone that is out here on this journey, toiling away, trying to make fun games. And just understand that with this consistency and effort that you're putting, you will grow. You won't just be visible in these algorithms on social media. Hopefully, as you keep this grind going, you'll be recognized, and that's where we'd all like to end up. So with that, I'd like to wish everyone good luck, And yeah, I'll put up some other videos you can watch to learn more about the stuff that I'm making. And I'd like to ask everyone to please subscribe, like, and share, of course, to help me grow this YouTube channel. And let's all finish what we've started. See you all on the next video. Bye for now.